Right, I'm just trying to think, is there anything else we need to do around here? Do we have any other... Ah, yes, we have another mission that I want to get done, I want to do around here, which is... Right. Anyone else... Would there be anyone else better to use? Potentially Zavrin rather than Leliana? Right, I think we'll head to camp, talk with people.
Alistair, what's this?
It's a sock?
It's a filthy sock. How did it find its way to my bedroll?
Maybe it likes you. Socks are sneaky like that. Anyway, it's not mine.
It has your name stitched.
Oh, part of Templar training back at the Chantry, the men were always getting their socks mixed up. Anyway, sorry about that. I'll take it from you right now. One of my socks is feeling a little damp anyway. A change will be nice.
You're going to put it on? It's filthy.
And dry. We're not exactly traveling in the lap of luxury here.
What hideous habits you've picked up.
He's a bad influence, Win. It's all him. Definitely not me. So we're going to head to camp. And we'll go around talking to everyone, as is our tradition and want and custom.
I think I owe you an explanation for what happened earlier.
You mean when you collapsed in battle? Yes, you had me quite worried.
You should know that something happened to me at the tower before you came along. Remember my apprentice, Petra? She encountered a demon in the tower. It would have killed her had I not intervened. I saved her life that day, but I did not survive that encounter with the demon.
This case of death is taking a while to kick in then. But you're standing right here.
Let me explain fully.
It would help.
I engaged a very powerful demon to rescue Petra. It sapped me of all my energy and will and left me drained. It took everything I had to defeat it. And when I was done, I no longer had the strength to keep my heart beating. I remember my life ebbing away. Everything receded from me. Sound, light. I remember being enveloped in complete, impenetrable darkness. And then I sensed a presence enfolding me and cradling me, whispering quietly to me. The sensation is impossible to describe. I was being held back, firmly but gently, as a mother would a child, eager to slip from her grasp. I felt life and warmth flowing through my veins again. I began to be aware of small sounds and the discomfort of my hip pressing into the cold stone of the tower floor.
So you were never really completely dead. Nah, well, that's an amazing story.
The Fade contains spirits both benevolent and malicious. The benevolent spirits seldom make themselves known, because they want nothing from mortals, unlike the demons. It was one of these spirits that saved me. Without it, I would be dead. And it has not left me. It is with me, even now, bonded to me. You see, I am supposed to be dead. It is the spirit that is keeping me in this world. And this is not the way of things. Perhaps the spirit did not expect this, but it is weakening gradually. I am living on borrowed time.
Then we will make the best of that time.
Yes, that we will.
Oh, poor Wen. We have our elf emissary, Karen. Let's go around and chat with people then, shall we?
Here I am.
Care to answer some questions?
Oh, this should be good. Go ahead.
What's your opinion of the Dalish? We've just visited them.
I know little enough of the Dalish other than the fact that my mother was one, or so I was told. She had fallen in love with an elven woodcutter and accompanied him back to the city, leaving her clan behind for good. And there, of course, the woodcutter died of some filthy disease and my mother was forced into prostitution to pay off his debts. Oldest tale in the book.
So, was the woodcutter your father?
How should I know? My mother was a whore, as you'll recall. None of the other elven boys in the whorehouse knew their fathers. I was not so unusual. I didn't know my mother either, of course. She died giving birth to me. My first victim, as it were. We were all raised communally by the whores. It was a happy enough existence, ignoring the occasional beating. till eventually I was sold to the crows. I brought a good price, I hear.
Yet you seem oddly cheerful about it all.
It could have been much worse. Shall I tell you about what happened to the other whorehouse boys who did not fetch a decent price with the crows? Surely your life has not been so idyllic. People like you and I are not the product of happy lives of contentment, after all.
You can compare my... Well, it was up until a... Well, it was a happy life of contentment up until however long ago. I'm nothing like you. You'd compare my life to yours. Up until recently I would have disagreed with you, but you can say that again.
My original point is that my mother's Dalish nature was always a point of fascination for me. Through all the years of my crow training, the one thing of my mother's that I possessed was a pair of gloves. They were of Dalish make, I knew that much, and beautiful. I had to keep them hidden, of course, as we were not allowed such things. Eventually, they were discovered, and I never saw them again.
But you don't think of yourself as Dalish, so... But how do you feel about the Dalish in general, having met them?
I don't feel anything about them. Oh, we heard about them in the city, even deep in Antiva. I even had the notion once to run off and join them. Naturally, the reality did not live up at all to the fantasies I had constructed as a boy, staring at those gloves. But such is life. Come, enough talk of the Dalish. Let us move on.
Right. And then we gave him some gloves, because... Oops. Right, Leliana.
I was just thinking about what happened to the elves, and I'm reminded of a song sung to me many years ago. It was when my mother died, and this wise elven woman comforted me and told me that we shouldn't fear death or hate it. Death is just another beginning. One day, we must all shed our earthly bodies to allow our spirits to fly free.
That is comforting.
It's a beautiful sentiment, I think. One that brings peace and hope to the grieving.
I wonder if she has her real voice back now, because that was not the same voice as her voice actress.
I know that look. You have something on your mind, don't you?
Okay, you do have your real. Oh, okay, we need to talk. I think.
Of course.
Are you feeling better about what happened with Marjolaine?
Yes, a little better. Time heals all wounds, so they say. Scars remain, but they are just colors in the painting that is my life, no?
They add to the complexity and beauty of the piece.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. I wish things had happened differently, but knowing her and knowing me, I don't think it could have. We had good times though, and I look back on those fondly. Whatever happened after will never change the truth of the past.
She was special to you, wasn't she?
Yes, once, a long time ago. She was a worldly woman and there was so much she knew and was willing to share with me. I would have done anything for her once.
She didn't deserve you.
She used to be different. Happier, I think. She loved music and had a weakness for sugary cakes. Maybe she was always lying about who she was. Or maybe she changed over the years.
Everyone changed, unfortunately. You miss her.
I do. And I probably always will. I will just move on. And I think I have. You are how she used to be years ago. A joy to be around, a constant companion and a listening ear in times of need.
I can only hope to one day be as special as she was to you.
My dearest one, I think that day has already come and gone. I have never regretted leaving Orlais. I do not regret any of the pain, the anger, the loneliness, because it brought me to you, and I love you. It's so wonderful to say that to someone again. But people are starting to look at me strangely. We will speak of this again, I promise.
Ah, right. Right, so it's Zevran. Let's have a chat with Alistair.
Something on your mind?
No, because we keep going back to the same questions, don't we? I will ignore you, Alistair. Let's talk to Win again. We didn't have a proper conversation. It was a cutscene one.
You're quite taken with each other, aren't you?
You know about Leliana and me?
I've seen the way she looks at you, the familiarity with which you speak, how she always finds a way to place herself next to you.
What are you going to say about us? I like being with Leliana.
I've noticed your blossoming relationship, and I wanted to ask you where you thought it was going. Leliana is a remarkable girl, sincere and guileless, and she has opened her heart to you. I would not like to see her hurt.
Not worried about me getting hurt? No, I'd never hurt Leliana.
Not intentionally, no. But there is great potential for tragedy here, for one or both of you. You are a Grey Warden. You have responsibilities which supersede your personal desires.
Can't you? No. But I'm a human being with emotions. I'm not just a Grey Warden.
Love is ultimately selfish. It demands that one be devoted to a single person who may fully occupy one's mind and heart to the exclusion of all else. A Grey Warden cannot afford to be selfish. You may be forced to make a choice between saving your love and saving everyone else. And then what would you do?
You're making things sound more dire than they are. It's pretty dire. It is pretty dire. I don't want to have to make that choice. What should I do then? It's like, what am I supposed to do? Just tell Leliana to go away?
You may have to save one or both of you unnecessary anguish later on.
Sure, I should inflict me. Okay. I don't see a great option here that isn't gonna end up insulting Win. I know what's best, not you, so should I inflict pain now to avoid it later? What do you know of love? You've never left the circle. I'll go with that one, and see the disapproval mount up. What do you know of love? You've never left the circle.
I know more about love's enchantment and its perils than I care to tell. But perhaps this is one lesson that cannot be taught. I have given my advice. Do with it what you will.
Oh, phew. I was worried that we'd get like a massive disapproval rating. It's 10. Try talking to you with right click.
Yes,
I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
No, I didn't.
Very well.
I want to discuss something you mentioned.
Speak then.
No, I didn't.
Then I suggest we move on.
Let's go.
As you wish.
Yay! Have I asked you most of your... I think I've asked Shale most of her things. We'll talk to Morrigan, who will probably complain about me and Leliana. Right.
I await your command.
Oh no. I'd like to ask you something.
So, full of questions, are you?
No, I didn't. Right. Well, that was simple. Oh, that's what I was going to check, wasn't it? Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Shale. That is the same thing. Ooh! Plus 10% fire damage. That is actually better than what you currently have. Oh, that's small floored rather than small chipped. That's probably why that's a thing. So we'll do some selling. Oh, I've got to... Hang on. Sorry about that. Someone at the door. Right, what are we going to do? We were going to sell. Right, okay.
You and your friends are formidable folk, indeed. It's good to have you along on the road.
Well, have you heard any rumours, Badan?
Queen Honora issued a plea to the Benorn to stand down, lest there be a repeat of the Winter's Breath elsewhere. I don't think they're listening, though. Many of them think Honora isn't even the one really speaking. They say the Queen does what her father tells her. Can't say I blame them. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Oh, that voice. Oh, this guy's in Mass Effect too. I'm just trying to work out who it is. Just the way his voice was. Someone on the ship. Someone I was talking to recently, maybe? No, I can't put it. Oh, let me see your wares.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Okie. We will sell that. You got anything? Oh, you okay? Of course, I'm only looking at ones. We'll sell that. Sell these bows. I don't need all these bows. Keep that because it's named. Sell that. Oh no, cancel. Actually, oh yeah, they're daggers. So, and the axe. Oh, you've got the blood dragon stuff, have you? Eh? And also the stuff I've sold you. Down the road. Actually, I should probably go through everyone's stuff.